buckle the fuck in. Welcome back to pitching a new holiday movie every day until one of them gets made. I don't know if this counts as a horror movie, because it's more along the lines of the, Adventures in Babysitting Gremlin-style Christmas movies from the 90s. But here you go. Christmas Eve, 1997. Tyler and his younger brother Scotty are playing with their brand new Nintendo 64. It's Christmas Eve and they're home alone because their parents are at a Christmas party. Scotty starts hogging the controller, and as they're fighting over the Nintendo, Tyler knocks over his drink. During this fight, we also establish that Scotty is good at math, and Tyler doesn't believe in Santa Claus. Nintendo falls in the drink, electricity zaps through the 1990s wiring, I guess. It zaps the Nintendo and Scotty's cassette player, which is playing the 12 Days of Christmas. The power goes out. The brothers are like, oh no, we gotta fix this before Mom and Dad get home. And then they hear it crashing from the backyard. They go and investigate, and a giant sentient pear tree is just going full Whomping Willow in the backyard. And there's this giant partridge that's slow motion pecking them. So Tyler manages to chop down the tree with his dad's chainsaw. And Scotty accidentally manages to tame the giant partridge by giving it shiny Pogs. So for the rest of this movie, you need to know that there's also this comically stupid giant partridge that they're flying around on. So what follows is a Jumanji-esque movie where the two brothers gather their friends to fight monsterized versions of the gifts from the 12 Days of Christmas. Some of the gifts are really fun. The three French hens lead them on this kids driving a car through the big city car chase. But some of them are really scary. The 11 pipers piping are magic. And so if you don't cover your ears, you start to do their bidding. The kids realize that they're out of their depth. So they go find cool Aunt Kate. And without a single moment of hesitation, Aunt Kate is I've been waiting my entire life for this moment, let's go. So she fucking pulls out swords and shit. It turns out that Aunt Kate is a Renaissance Festival nerd. Can't imagine who would get to play this role. And so there's this really great moment where the kids come out in full fucking battle armor. So they're fighting the 5 golden rings, which are these giant monster rings with chompy teeth. Aunt Kate eventually defeats them by trapping them in her pottery kiln and melting them. Because she's a lesbian. So they're working their way through the monsters, and all the kids are getting a chance to shine. They go find Juan, the new kid in school, and it turns out he's super good at parkour. So he defeats the 10 lords leaping with cool flips. So they get down to the last gift, and there's this Jurassic Park scene where the cup of water is shaking, and all you hear is ba-da-dum, ba-da-dum, ba-da-dum. And so then from over the hill you see this shot of these 12 giant drummer nutcrackers riding these giant horses, and they're creaking down the road, and the kids are oh no, what are we gonna do? And Scotty's well, Santa can save us. And Tyler's what? That's dumb. And all the other kids are yeah, well maybe you just have to believe. So they plug everything back in together. Scotty's cassette player's playing Here Comes Santa Claus, and then it works. So Santa Claus comes shooting out of the Nintendo 64 with 8 reindeer, and the reindeer just start going ham on these horses. So they defeat the monsters. Santa uses Christmas magic to put everything back before the parents get home, and then the parents come home and they're how was your night? Did anything cool happen? And the kids are no. And then the dad's honey, and then there's a giant partridge in the backyard. And the mid-credit scene is Aunt